What's up, everybody? Commander Anthony's got horrible news just now, so let's go ahead and get into the video, shall we?
Hello everyone. I was going to originally just post the documents with a quick announcement. However, I have now added a third person to my defamation lawsuit. It's a pretty big deal, and I need to explain to you all what's going on.
Remember Carmelo Anthony, the good boy who didn't do nothing wrong, the one that raised hundreds of thousands of dollars on, I believe, Give, Send, Go, to the tune of they wanted $1.4 million, but the donations have completely collapsed, and his trial is rapidly approaching. And his family just got some very, very bad news. Now, if you don't remember, Carmelo Anthony is the boy who didn't do nothing wrong and was just bringing a knife to high school, as you do, or a track meet, and then in the wrong tent, as you do, and starting a fight with somebody in the wrong tent, as you do, and then, of course, pulling out that weapon and plunging it into him, taking his life in front of his brother. That is common behavior we see of a youth group that is out of control. And the trial is coming up. It's very, very soon. And they are panicking because the money has dried up. And their lawsuits to try and attempt to silence independent journalists have now been rejected by a judge. Here is a all-around update on the Carmelo Anthony case. Many people have been asking for it. A trial date is set for Carmelo Anthony in the Frisco track meet stabbing case. We know that much, right? In fact, this feels like a good time to shout out a sponsor for this video because it feels like a good time, survival, taking care of yourself. It feels like a good thing to do. Have you ever wondered what it feels like to use the same precision tactic used by U.S. Special Forces? Well, good news. After years of research and development, MGC Tactical just dropped something incredible, and that's the Stinger Combat Sight. It isn't your average red dot sight. Using holographic technology once reserved for elite military and law enforcement, the Stinger delivers crystal clear precision, so accurate you could hit a dime at 300 yards without even trying. This is the exact same level of technology used by the pros, but here's the twist. Most sites like this go for $600 or more, and people happily pay for it. Right now, through an exclusive deal with us and MCG Tactical, you can get this mil-spec sight for under $200, and it gets better. For my listeners and viewers, you're getting 67% off, and they're covering shipping. Just scan the QR code on the screen or go to mcgtac.com/ordering and get yours today. The only catch is that supply is tight, and they're already flying off the shelves. Grab yours now before they have to shut down orders. Link in the description below. Well, let's go to the trial date, which is rapidly approaching. It is set for June 1st, 2026. Now, when this crime happened, many people felt like, wow, it's going to be so far away. I mean, think about this summer's trials. Carmelo Anthony, Luigi Mangione, Tyler Robinson in the Charlie Kirk assassination case. There are some of the biggest trials in American history happening this summer. Now, for me, obviously the Carmelo Anthony case is open and shut, and it's only a matter of how little time the judge is going to give them because he was a good boy that didn't do nothing wrong. But it's starting to set on June 1st at 9 a.m. That's barely 2 months away. Well, 3 months away. And they're out of money. So what are they doing? Now they're trying to sue anybody who's been covering the case. Carmelo Anthony's father, Drew Anthony, was suing independent journalist Sarah Fields, and just yesterday had asked for the case to be thrown out. Sarah Fields was suing Carmelo Anthony's team and father, and they wanted it dropped, and the judge signed with the journalist. This is a February 24th court filing from the Penny Clarkson District Clerk. On this day, the court considered defendant Drew Anthony's motion to dismiss under Texas Citizens Participation Act of Texas Civil Practice and Rem Code Chapter 27, plaintiff Sarah Fields' response in opposition, the pleadings and evidence properly before the court. After considering the foregoing, the court finds that the motion is denied. Order. It is therefore ordered that defendant Drew Anthony, that's Carmelo Anthony's father, and his motion to dismiss under the TCPA is denied. It is further ordered that all relief not expressly granted herein is also denied. I mean, this is obviously bad news for Drew Anthony. This is a guy that, as you see, employed people, allegedly, like Charleston White and Tiffany Billions to harass independent journalists who were covering the truth about what his son had done. Charleston White and Tiffany Billions have accused me of illegally obtaining private information and documents from Collin County Courthouse. In an interview viewed over 800,000 times, not counting clips shared across the internet and clips being shared today, Charleston White claimed I was a prostitute and a meth addict, claiming I sold my body for meth. I have been called a supremacist, a bad mom, and a bigot. Last night, Tiffany Billions doubled down in an interview, calling me a drug addict, and that I live in a shack. These people are bullies, and ultimately, bullies get dealt with when you stand up to them. If I actually look up here, the Drew Anthony lawsuit, this is something that isn't going to go well. You see, I'm formally announcing my lawsuit against Drew Anthony, Carmelo Anthony's father, Charleston White, and Tiffany Billions. We were just officially granted alternative service by the judge. The lawsuit is moving forward. Again, this is absolutely horrible news for the Carmelo Anthony family because they are out of money now. They've burned through all the money that they duped dumb white liberals into giving them. And here's a little update on the lawsuit. Here's when the lawsuit started.
Hello, everyone. I was going to originally just post the documents with a quick announcement. However, I have now added a third person to my defamation lawsuit. It's a pretty big deal, and I need to explain to you all what's going on. For months now, I have been targeted, harassed, and smeared and lied about by Tiffany Billions and her associates. Tiffany Billions is the advocate for the Anthony family and Carmelo. Carmelo Anthony is the 17-year-old who is now 18 who allegedly stabbed Austin Metcalf in the heart on April 2nd at Frisco ISD. I reported on the Anthony case from day one. I provided context that was not given by the mainstream media. Documents from the court via open records, subpoenas, emails, and information about their first advocate, Dominique Alexander.
Remember Dominique? How quickly he's disappeared, right? Dominique Alexander completely off the face of the planet. Not good. This is not good news for them.
My exposure and my reporting reached millions, including my advocacy for the children who were placed in danger, who were witnesses on the arrest report, who were being doxxed by these advocates and their associates.
Who were working directly with, according to the lawsuit, and the information to me looks correct, who were working directly with Carmelo Anthony's father, Drew Anthony, to try and do PR. You see this, Charleston White, who I'm currently suing for defamation, hired Drew Anthony, Carmelo Anthony's father, as his, quote, personal assistant and publicist. Here's this Facebook post. These are all people that have been going after independent reporters who are telling the truth. Remember Carmelo Anthony? Carmelo Anthony's father has an interesting past. Multiple counts of theft, arrested multiple times, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different charges, although some of them, okay, no seatbelt, man. You should not have, that shouldn't be against the law. I think you should wear your seatbelt, but just like I think you should wear a helmet on a motorcycle, but it's not the government's job to force you to do that. But what's interesting is all of these people, right, they gave $589,000.
That's some all the money that his family got, and now they flat broke. Austin Metcalf's family Kamal Anthony's family, I meant to say, got millions of dollars from people donating and then spent it all on high-class cars, jewelry, homes, and not once get a good lawyer for him or have money in case he needs to be in prison. Because the evidence shows that Kamal Anthony killed Austin Metcalf out of spite. Okay? Kamal Anthony was there when he was not be in the area he was not supposed to be at. He did not go to that school. He was skipping his school. He had a known record of bringing knives and fighting kids and stealing. Known record. But they try to pay him as an innocent baby boy who didn't do no wrong. Or the Austin Metcalf kids got jailed because he had a big dick. They didn't know who the fuck he was to begin with until that damn day. Okay, so let's get back to this video here.
It's completely dried up. $20 a day ago, 25, so I got 45 bucks, $5 2 days ago. Here's somebody who gave 100. I mean, it's still coming in as a trickle. The donations, I mean, they've basically burned through everything. And what's funny is that they took this $600,000 and haven't given a single update to the people that gave it to them. It's been almost a year since peeling off $600,000 from white, liberal, guilty women, and nothing. Not a single update. Not a single update. Now his trial again starts June 2nd. Rumors are is that they burned through all the money. By the way, here's an 11-year-old Clayton Dietz being charged as an adult for cold-blooded murder. He was grounded and took his dad's life over his Nintendo Switch, okay? Going into prison while Carmelo Anthony is attending an Ivy League school and living in a $900,000 home. Now, I think it's up to debate. Like, they're renting someplace and they're doing, all sorts of stuff like that. But it seems like the world has forgotten about this case because, well, quite frankly, there's so much other crazy stuff going on. But the Carmelo Anthony's family's attempt to get these charges and lawsuits dropped have failed. It is going to put a major financial strain on them when they've already burned through the $600,000 that were given to them. Now, my guess is that they are going to be begging for money again very soon. I'm almost certain that that's the case. Now, I used to feel bad for Drew Anthony and his mom because your kid is a full-grown man. It's hard to say, like, he makes his own decisions. But his behavior, and smearing people who are trying to report on this makes me not feel bad at all. And this looks like it's going to take the rest of their Give, Send, Go money, which is actually hilarious to me. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure